Our first session this morning is going to be talking about trends in IT operations management and is to be taken by Mr. Vijay Shankar, who is Global CTO CIO Symphony Summit, who will be presenting this session. Ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands together and help me in welcoming the gentleman on stage. Vijay is an experienced global CTO CIO, proficient in IT strategy, solution design, ITIL, software product development, IT automation, engineering, offshore operations, and managed services. Experienced professional with successful track record of over 24 years. Ladies and gentlemen, here we present to you the first presenter for the day. Please put your hands together for Mr. Vijay Shankar. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody. Today I'm going to talk about the technology trends which are happening across the globe, and India is not far away. And so from that standpoint, I've got about 20 minutes of time and see how much I can cover in 20 minutes. It's going to be difficult, but with the time constraint, I just have to cover. And any questions, I can take it offline. So some of the points I'm going to display here are, these are validated points, right, both from Gartner, Forrester, and other reputed data presenting organizations, right? I mean, if you look at what Gartner talks about here, by 2018, you would have 6 billion connected things, right, would request support. I think a lot of people know about it, the trends which are happening today, right? A lot of talk about IoT and stuff like that. And this is one area which is definitely going to increase as we move forward, right? And the next point is about the companies having fewer employees than smart machines going forward. In fact, I just want to highlight also is that I've been working on some of the areas, personally working on some of the areas in our own organization, and this is all about cognitive IT, right? And if you look at the point number 3, where you're talking about 40% of mobile interactions going forward would be by the virtual agents or the smart agents, right? I'll talk about some use case scenario which we are personally working on, and it's a trend and it's a reality. It's a question of maturity as we move forward. Today, and a lot of people would be frustrated, especially when you are calling some bank and there's an IVR menu which keeps asking press 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, right? Before you actually get into the actual request which you want to do. I think that world is changing. In fact, as I told you, it's all going to be, smart virtual agents talking to people like you and me. Use case scenario would be, right, today what happens that you want to request anything, you have to go through an IVR menu, but going forward, at least in the years to come, what's going to happen, the virtual smart agent will know exactly as to why you're calling for, right? Based on, it learns over a period of the behavior of the customer is learned by the virtual agent. So when he calls, it can automatically ask you, are you looking for this, right? Are you requesting for a checkbook, or there's a transaction, a bill has been sent to you, are you wanting to have some information about that? It's all smart, completely driven. It acts like a human, right? And this is all about cognitive. Another case scenario in an IT operations space could be that whenever an end user calls up and to the help desk, etc., it'll exactly tell you, you are using these such of applications, and are you facing this type of problem, right? Because it is learning in the back end as to what's happening across the environment and prompting him, saying that this could be the problem where you are having issues with, and based on that, it will help you see how you can solve the problem or update you what's happening, right? It's all virtual. I think that's a reality. We in our own organization are working on this extensively. I think this is where the world is moving towards, and it will not be, I would say by next couple of years, you'll see that maturity happening. And gone are the days of IVRs as we move forward. All are going to be about smart machines. And even that's what Gartner is talking about it. And you're talking about 75 billion devices getting connected by 2020. That's huge. And why I'm brought up this slide also is that the impact it's going to create for all the CIOs, right? How are you going to manage these type of devices? And numbers are going to increase drastically. The number of devices in your enterprises which are connected to your network are going to be phenomenal high. And you cannot say no, right? And everything is going to get connected because end of the day it's going to improve the productivity of your organization, the employees who are working, right? The way you do work is going to change. It's going to be more predictive, and you take decisions based on your data analytics which are going to come in, right? So that's a reality. I think we as CIOs, I think needs to be more proactive, and this is going to hit you big time. And the reason I'm telling you is because we are working on a lot of these technologies, and it's just a matter of time. And you will see this happening, and people have to ensure that your networks and et cetera are geared to take up this. A lot of data is going to be on big data analytics. Again, it's an area which people needs to start adopting because, you know, it's very, very important. Couple of things, couple of data points, right? As you have been CIOs, you would know that, you know, a couple of data points that I will share, you will appreciate what's happening, right? If you see that 90% text read is in 3 minutes, right? The number of mails which are going 60 billion and 97% is spam today. That's a reality, right? And the number of devices, here we talk about 2.9 devices per person. I think that's going to increase as we move forward, right? And or again, the complexity is going to be that you have to manage these things. Who are the stakeholders? The CIOs, IT managers, and the business, right? If you look at it, each have their own challenges, their own goals, how they want to achieve. It's all listed down there. I don't want to talk much about it, but this is a reality, right? These are some of the challenges which have been faced by stakeholders today. Again, people would be aware of this because you have come through the journey, right? You're talking about in 1984, there were about 1,000 devices which are connected to the net. Today, you're talking about 17 billion, right? And you're talking about 75 billion by 2020, right? The impact is huge. And India is going to have this problem and challenge, right? Another data point. Text message was sent in 1992. Today you're talking about the text message traffic is more than the total population of the planet. And it's going to increase. So it's all computing everywhere, right? You're talking about 14.4 billion pages today, and that's again going to triple. So everything going to go digital, and with IoT coming in place, etc. It's all exponential growth. Whatever we have thought that, you know, this is what IT is going to be, I think that's going to change drastically. I think we are going in for another explosion as we move forward in a couple of years, right? And I don't know whether your networks will be capable of managing those type of data traffic as we move forward. It's going to be humongous. Right? All are going to exponentially change by 2020, and that's a reality. And if you look at India, the demographic population which we have, all that is going to impact all this. If you look at the current generation workforce, right, lives on email, right? That's a reality. Most of the time spent on the PC, uses 6 applications or 7 applications, a max of 10 applications, avoids corporate social network. This is a traditional workforce today. I think going forward, if you look at it, the next generation workforce, I think people have already started hating emails today. If you look at some of the global trends, what you're seeing is that people have stopped using email, especially the new generation people, right? Like you have the, the fastest growing communication collaboration tool in the US and Europe is something called Slack, right? A lot of people, especially the new generation people, workforce are adopting that because they see email as to be very, very unproductive, right? I think a lot of people are adopting these technologies because, and if you look at the apps today, even our own people, right, see the number of apps people access today is huge, right? And you can't have the IT organization restricting people only to X number of apps, right? Today, a lot of organizations have restricted Facebooks, Twitters, and etc. in their organization. I think that curtails the innovation of your employee, and they will rebel if you continue, especially the new generation people who are coming into the workforce, right? Because they have the information. If you're not going, they will do it on their own. Even people have already started complaining. The number of the bandwidth what you provide to them working in office is less compared to what they get at home, right? I think this is what is happening. I think we have to embrace ourselves. And again, there's again a couple of data points here. I think you have gone through the journey, right? If you look at the personal productivity in 1985, office suits and stuff, which is standard, right? And 1995, it's all about knowledge distribution. Email really kicked off this entire change. But if you look at 2015, it's all about social media and more, right? Mass collaboration. Collaboration is going to be the key, especially for the new generation. It's all about collaboration. It's all about, if you look at some of the existing engineers who are new to the workforce, for troubleshooting, they use the community portals to see how they can resolve the problems. They want to do more, lot of self-help and solving problems, not like others, the earlier generation, where they will call the SI to resolve problems. A lot of times it's all about how I can do myself than waiting for the SIs to come and resolve the problem or support people to resolve the problem. I think that's where it's changing, and it is changing fast, right? And all the organizations, the vendors, product vendors, are also gearing up to provide that particular type of support and solution to the organizations. I think that's another, and obviously this is a shift. As we move every decade, we are shifting. I think this is another decade where we need to shift, and there's going to be an explosion here. We've never heard of those traffics which we are talking about. And if you look at the wireless traffic which is flowing today, you can see the growth there, right? It's huge. And it's going to be in petabytes as we move forward. Now we're talking about terabytes, but as you go by in 2020, 2025, it's all going to be in petabytes and stuff like that. And it's all going to be wireless, right? The wireless technology is changing big time to handle this type of traffic, because nobody wants to use a LAN cable and have your, it's all going to be completely wireless, right? And again, as I told you, we need to change, as especially the way we look at our infrastructure, right? Design it for the future. This is another major advancement which has happened. We're talking about 14 trillion bits of data per second being transmitted over single fiber, right? And this is, it's not something which is, right, which is in research and etc. It's already there. We look at a couple of US companies have already adopted this particular technology where the number of bits per second has drastically improved, right? So this is something which is happening, right? And the benefits obviously is to ensure that the data which is get pumped into the environment or the enterprise is carried properly. Again, to a journey a lot of people are aware of, right? Especially in this room, we've gone through the journey, right? If you look at it, the pre-evolved stage between 2000 and 2010, how it was, right? Where you talk about take it or leave it, and then you're talking about pay per use and upgrade and stuff like that. And the important thing which I want to talk about here is the highly evolved, which is going to be by in 2020. It's all going to be adaptable, all going to be software defined infrastructures where you can configure on the fly whatever you want. It's all available on demand, right? And whatever you have today, I think that will also go through major change. the business will drive you to do that. They don't want to wait for people to buy and do things like that. I think that is changing big time. And obviously, this infrastructure will be available on demand, right? And these are high capacity. Even whatever cloud infrastructure the providers are providing today, I think that is also going through a big change. Will go through a big change. And some of the technologies, which are all the technology providers like HP and the IBMs of the world, all these guys who are bringing in, especially on the power infrastructure, is huge. If you look at some of the technology which HP is bringing about, the amount of power which a server has today is going to be humongous, 10 times more, but at a very small power utilization, and the rack space, the cabinets which are required for that is going to be very small. It's humongous. I think they are talking about very powerful ones, 10 times more faster than existing powerful machines of theirs, right? Fantastic technology, and all this enabling them, and this obviously will help us as we move forward. It's all about information age. I talked about software-defined infrastructure. I think this is the way move forward. A lot of things will get automated. Obviously, impact is going to have with the people, right? The people have to get upgraded and embrace this technology. Enterprises will have to embrace automation. No way you can move away out of it. Automation is the key as we move forward, right? Today, a lot of CIO have done a lot of workshops with close to 200 plus CIOs in the last 3 years. Automation, a lot of people talk about automation, but the automation, even the basic things are not done, right? And these I'm talking about 200 plus senior enterprise CIOs, right? They all want to embrace it, but the supporting infrastructure, the people who want to embrace that, it becomes very, very limited. I think this is something which people have to look at it seriously. I think I request people to take baby steps towards this automation. I think that's where the world is leading, and you can do. And obviously, the change is going to be tough for a few people because you would not need so many people to do this type of work. What we say is that at present, at least when you do it basic, you talk about 40% of the work which is being done by the workforce today can be automated completely, right? The same thing happened with auto industry, right? The people where you had manual laborers doing work today, a lot of things are done by the robots, right? And everybody had to embrace that. That's what it is going forward. And technology is there today to handle all those stuff. But going forward, it's only going to increase, and going to increase with more cognitive, more intelligently, how systems can resolve issues which are coming up in the environment, right? A lot of work is getting done on that space because that's a reality. And I think we should embrace this because I think it's important for the enterprise. And with so much of data coming in, the amount of devices getting connected, you can't have the enterprises giving you more and more resources. That's not going to happen. Budget is going to be strict, but they want what technology available in the market, right? I think this is very, very important. And you talk about on and off premise processing, which is also going to be there because not everything is going to be on your public cloud. So there's going to have on and off processing which is going to happen, right? Internet of Things, again, we talked about it, and please don't think Internet of Things is all about assets connecting to the network, etc. Internet of Things can be a lot of other things also, right? Pay for use, right? Insurance can, just giving an example again, use case scenarios of, as and when you're traveling, I want insurance to kick in. That can be also another type of Internet of Things where you can do those things. Paper used from a parking stuff, right? So all this can be completely, I'm just giving you a lot of use case scenarios here from an IoT standpoint. And imagine the number of data which is going to come in, right? It's going to be huge. And there's a lot of use case scenarios. And enterprise have to adopt it. Your CEOs will tell, please adopt it because it's only going to, improve productivity, right? Efficiencies for the enterprise. We look at, this is a very important quote from Jack Welch, right? If change is happening on the outside faster than on the inside, the end is inside. I think this is a very powerful statement, right? So if enterprise don't change fast, right, or the people inside the organization don't change, I think it's a serious problem, right? And don't wait for people, that technology to come, because the technology will arrive. And you're seeing a lot of data. You have now a lot of access to a lot of portals and stuff like that, which talks about this. And it's real, because personally I have been working on a lot of these technologies, and it's not, I think, it's just a matter of time now, right? And this is very important. This is one of the last slides I've got. You yourself is a data. So obviously, you need to ensure that your security is very important in the organization. From a data privacy standpoint of view, with all this data coming in, you are being scrutinized more and more. How do you ensure your employees are protected from a lot of the information leakage which can happen, not only from you, from your enterprise standpoint of view, because you yourself becomes the data. Then you access a lot of data, enterprise data and stuff like that. How do you ensure you protect all that? So the more and more you're going to have information security challenges, right? So this is a very important slide, right? And so last but not the least, from a slide standpoint, I just want to tell what we as Symphony Summit as an organization. We are part of Symphony Technology Group. It's about $2.7 billion in revenues, right? And Summit provides ITSM solution on the cloud, right? So we are a Gartner Cool vendor. It's an ITL certified product. It also a business operating platform by itself. And we have close to about 125 customers today. That's it from my side. Thank you. On time. Thank you.